As the reason why I named it Battered Spirit.
Okay.
Because its spirit's very battered and it's had a hard development cycle. So the wiring is kind of complex, but I designed it with modularity in mind. So if you ever want to remove certain functions or whatever, you just unplug the adapters. Nothing's really hard soldered on there. So what we have under the hood here, I just kind of covered it up just to, because it's a lot of mess. So you have a 9-volt battery connector for the Arduino, and then the motors itself are powered by 6 AA batteries down at the very bottom base here.
Can we turn it on its side? Will it hurt
Yes,
anything?
we
Yeah, that'll get some light in there.
So you have the 4 motor controller in there, and on this side you have the 4 encoders on it,
Okay.
and you have the ultrasonic, the URM37 ultrasonic sensor,
Okay.
which can do TTL and RS-232.
All right, which one are you using?
TTL.
Okay.
And on this side you have the channels, and I think, if I remember correctly, channel 1 is for the front, channel 2 is for the, or channel 1 is for the front right wheel, and then channel 2 is for the back left, channel 3 is for the back right, and channel 4 is for the front left wheel.
Okay.
That's going on here. And you have the connectors, so this is just the motor controller. So fairly simple.
All right.
What happened when the motor controller did get burned up, which ruined the encoders, so the encoders are not working, so the wheels were working with the ultrasonic sensor and the encoders, and what it was going to do was, since the ultrasonic sensor is stationary, I was going to have, if it detected hitting anything over here or on the back wheels, it would detect that within the encoders and automatically adjust for it and try and get the sensor to pick it up and adjust for it.
Okay.
Also, that also helps too, because I can change the power for individual wheels for all terrain outside. So it'd be able to detect going over something and maybe apply more power to it and go over it. So anybody want to?
Yeah, who needs somebody to pick a location for this robot?
I already did one.
I'll do it. He's already broke it once.
Right there is where you can start.
Yeah, let's put it
Yeah, right there.
See how your edge detection
It
is
should be on the floor somewhere, probably.
Probably. It's
not
not
certain.
certain.
I'll be nice to you.
What?
Turn right here in this corner.
Wait, right here?
Facing, not directly in it. Yeah.
Give it a chance.
All right.
It's detecting. I have it set for detecting 20 centimeters. That's what it has. Also, when the motor controller blew up, one side did lose power, and so I had to change it down to the other side. It'll try and detect it.
So what kind of power supply are we running here? It's all running off the same battery pack,
Yes.
so to speak. How many batteries?
6 AA's for the motors, and then the 9-volt connector.
Okay.
And it'll just continue going straight until it detects something's in its way, and then it'll try to autocorrect it. It'll either back up or turn.
So so what kind of decision making process is it going through? So it sees something, and you're using TTL, but it's still basically giving you serial input, right?
Yes, the ultrasonic sensor comes with its own library that will detect it for you.
I got roll them.
In which, so it will randomly decide to go left or right or reverse and try to go again, and then detect whether or not it picks it up.
So it's all a random decision making process.
Yes, for the turning when it detects something.
Those chairs are deadly.
Yeah, they are.
Does it?
Maybe not.
Yeah, give it more power and it's going to.
So it'll detect it. It also, when it detects something in there, and if it can't turn enough to avoid it, it will try 5 times. If it doesn't try 5 times, it just completely turns around
Okay.
and goes the opposite direction.
So when does it decide to back up? You said it randomly decides to turn left or right if it finds something. When does it decide to back up?
It decides to back up if it turns left or right twice and it's still there. It's like, okay, I need more distance. And it'll back up and then turn to the right.
The distance you turn to the left and right, and the distance you back up, are those fixed values?
It's fixed time values, yes.
Okay.
In which, when the encoder's working, it would detect, like, when it gets hung on the chair here, it would be able to detect the power to each wheel that's taken to drive it, and it would auto-correct it. But that is the feature that I lost, is, like, if it gets caught, like, right here, if, like, I hold this up, it would be able to detect it.
Yeah. But as it is now, it still just tries to power around, basically.
Yeah.
It's not a terrible design, even still.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, maybe we shouldn't try that.
One side's underpowered and the other one is has torque, so one side doesn't have anything, the other side does.
You move your legs still.
Lift up your foot just a tad. Your shoe may just be too low. Perhaps.